Be it. Anyway, the Helganquil are the real Renans. Personally, I don't think it's such a big deal. They're also mostly the ones behind what you see going on between the two planets. I think that covers just about everything worth knowing.
I see. Thanks for filling us in.
Does he really expect us to believe that Renans never truly existed? How absurd.
Dohalim.
Just when I think we're getting to the bottom of it all, some new revelation smacks us in the face.
Then let's hope this is our last revelation for a while. Do you know anything about a spirit channeling plan?
If you mean the first plan from 300 years ago, then yes. Do you know what its main objective was?
Yes. It was to use Lenegis to siphon off Dana's astral energy and send it to Rena.
Exactly. However, there were two problems we had to consider. First was how to collect and send such a large quantity of astral energy without it becoming sentient. Second, we had to figure out how to convert Dana's energy so it would be compatible with Rena.
I take it the solutions to those problems were to use the wedge for the collection, and then the Sovereign and Maiden to convert the energy.
We have a winner! However, the first plan failed when the Sovereign was overwhelmed and became frenzied. The reason for that is because the Maiden lost control. I'm told he slaughtered many Renans in Helganquil that day. For the next plan, we tried to recreate the Renis Alma, but we didn't have nearly enough of the other non-dark astral energy types. To amend that, we set our sights on Dana, and implemented a system whereby we could extract energy from it.
And the crown contest began.
Correct. Since the Maiden had been the failing point in the previous plan, it was decided to replace her role with machinery to avoid further mishaps. A new Sovereign had to be made as well. It was such tremendously difficult work, its success was dubious. But from the look of things, it would appear such worries were unfounded.
So that's what the purpose of that room we found in the Forbidden Zone was.
What about the flower that sprouted from Rena?
Flower? Oh, that thing. That's the physical manifestation of all the astral energy that's been harvested from Dana. As I'm sure you've noticed, it's quite a lot of energy. At this point, it's likely that it's become physically integrated with Rena's planetary structure.
Hevrecht 35 mentioned that the spirit channeling plan is entering its final stage. Is that true?
It is. I never thought I would live to see the day with my own eyes, and yet here we are. Are we done talking now? If it's all the same to you, I'd really rather not miss anything that's about to happen.
He talks like the potential end of the world is just another day on the job.
You've got to remember that these guys have been living alone up here for a long time. Who knows what shape their minds are in?
It's like our whole world has been turned upside down. Is there anything we know that's still true at this point?
Seriously, I'm still trying to process the fact that we Renans were created by the Helganquil, let alone the Sovereign and Maiden stuff.
Let's take a moment to gather ourselves. I know all of this is a lot to believe and take in, but I think it's fair to say that we've found the answers we've been looking for. Does everyone agree?
Agreed. Though I'll admit that I never expected it to all boil down to Rena's great spirit being behind everything.
Everything that's happened, everything we've endured, it's all because of astral energy.
And to get that energy, the Great Spirit took control of the Helganquil. Then the Helganquil created the Renans, who went on to invade and rule over the Danans.
Plus, the reason the Great Spirit can't directly control the Renans as well is likely because they were originally Danans all along.
Either way, I think it's fair to say we've all had a lot to take in at once. Maybe too much, even. We should probably take it easy and rest our minds a bit. Why don't we all take some time to think things over, before we decide on our next move?
That's a good idea, Kisara. If the Renan Great Spirit really is behind all this, then we've got a really big fight ahead of us. Because it's not just Dana on the line, but Rena too. If we're going to do this, we need to be completely sure of ourselves. So let's go ahead and break off for now. We aren't in any immediate danger, so we should be okay. You sure you don't want to be alone right now?
I could ask you the same question.
I figured I'd get all my thinking in while walking around and checking up on everybody.
I'll go along with you. I'm interested to hear what's on everyone's minds too.
Sounds good. Let's go find them.
Everyone has just gone their own way, huh?
Yeah, let's hit up each spot. Everything we thought we knew, it was all just a fabrication that the Red Women, no, that the Helganquil made up.
Right. Assuming we can believe anything that Hevrek 35 has told us, that is.
Well, if the names are anything to go by, it's possible the Helganquil could be behind the fruits of Helgen too.
But if Hevrek 35 was telling the truth, and this was all just one massive lie, does that mean everything we've done up until now has been pointless?
No, I don't think so. Or at least I hope not. I think it just means we've lost our foothold for now. That's all.
Really? Well then, if we've lost it, I guess we'll just have to find another. All of us together. And if we can't find one, then we'll make a new one. End of story.
Make one, huh? I see. Right then. Count me in.
Oh, it's you two. Does he seem like he's doing any better now?
He who? Oh, you mean Dohalim, don't you?
I know that we're all struggling to wrap our minds around it all, but he looked like he was taking it really hard earlier.
What do you think about everything we've learned? About the Renans, and the Great Spirit, and all that?
On some level, I'm not even really sure what to think, to be honest. I mean, the Great Spirit is like a huge natural disaster, but with a mind and will of its own. But if that thing's hellbent on trying to destroy our planet, then the only thing left for us to do is stop it. As for the Renans, I suppose my feelings on that are a bit more mixed.
How so?
Coexistence between Danans and Renans in Menancia is still a work in progress. In my case, I think that's partly because deep down, I was still on guard around Renans. So, to be told that they're like us, that they're actually just like us is, well, I guess it's a little deflating, to be honest.
You kept a pretty level head.
You mean about the Renans? At the end of the day, the Helganquil and the Great Spirit are the ones who are responsible. But at the same time, I realize that not every Danan is necessarily going to believe that either.
I know you're already aware of this, but the list of grievances the Danans have against the Renans is long, and understandably so. And if people then find out that they're all actually one and the same, yeah, I don't think they're going to take to it too kindly.
Even just among the Danans, I'm sure there'll be some who emerge with power and some who won't. I think if we can find a way to get rid of that imbalance, then we'll be in a truly good place.
Well, first we can try to figure out what to do about the existing conflicts we have.
Yeah. It'd be nice if one day people could learn to get past their hatred like Rinwell did.
It's no small task. We can't pretend like the past didn't happen and ask people to forget their very real pain and suffering.
Right. Everybody in a worst case.
And we all have to...
That's an interesting way of putting it.
It's true. It won't be achieved, but I think it's... And now, I...
You both...
How are you,
Yeah. But I was thinking, if Renans end up living together with Danans again, then mages won't be such an unusual thing to see on Dana anymore, right? I know it's not as simple as all that, but Danans probably won't be so quick to let their guards down. And there might be Renans who still act superior because of their arts.
It wouldn't surprise me. 300 years of...
Yeah. I know firsthand just how much hatred can take hold in... But even so, I was still able to change. So I was thinking maybe, I don't know, I could use my position as both a Danan and a mage to help bring both sides together.
Renwell.
That great spirit worries me too, though. Dana's will feels so warm and inviting. So why is Rena's will trying to destroy our entire planet?
Now that you mention it, Everett 35 and the other scientists here never really brought that up. Maybe they don't know either.
Maybe. But regardless, at the end of the day, Dana's still our home. There's no way we can let it be destroyed.
We won't. We'll keep it safe no matter what.
I apologize for making you witness that.
You mean hearing the origins of the Renans?
Indeed. It's shocking to have so many things I thought to be indelible fade away in mere seconds.
Even I'm still not sure everything we've heard here is actually true.
Let's not delude ourselves. If what we've heard is a lie, it's a rather elaborate one. I can only imagine that you must have been constantly feeling like this, ever since your memory returned, Alphen. And you as well, Shion. About your thorns, and being a maiden.
That's just part of being alive, don't you think?
Well, to say the least. But enough about me. I'm not concerned for myself. What concerns me is all of the other Renans out there.
When you say the other Renans, you mean the ones that are living on Lenegis or Dana, right?
Correct. Even if we stop the Great Spirit from annihilating Dana, our problems will still remain. Putting aside the untold state that Rena may be in, if we do not truly belong there, we will have to think long and hard about where it is that we wish to return to.
So, I guess your only real choices at this point are to either stay on Lenegis or come down to Dana, huh? And right now, Lenegis might not even be a safe option.
And at the same time, Danans are hardly likely to embrace Renans with open arms. If the issue is forced, things could turn dire. There is, after all, 3 centuries worth of hatred to overcome between us. And the victims of our rule have absolutely every right to feel animosity towards us Renans. Our own circumstances as the aggressors are irrelevant.
I didn't expect the former Lord of Menancia to be so down about people reconciling.
Menancia's fate was a stroke of good luck. There had been backlash over how it had been ruled, and I was blessed to have sympathizers among my ranks. Still, even now, there remain ardent dissidents.
But things can still change if you have the right people to help lead the way. Isn't that what you hope to achieve on Lenegis, after this is all over?
Indeed. I have fully accepted the burden of that responsibility. In that regard, I remain determined. On that note, I have something of a favor to ask of you, Alphen.
Oh? What is it?
I wish for you to serve as a mediator so that the Renans can live on Dana peaceably. As the one and only Blazing Sword, I suspect the Danans may listen to what you have to say when problems arise.
And I take it that you'll be the one to represent the Renans?
Yes. I realize that I'm asking quite a lot of you. However, the fact of the matter is that it will take time for Renans to re-enter Danan society without any bloodshed. That is why...
You're the same as ever, Dohalim.
Is it too much?
No, relax. You get so tense and formal when you're asking for a favor. Listen, there's no need for that. We're friends.
You're too kind. I can see you were raised well.
That's some high praise, Alphen.
Then I'll ask once again, this time just as friends. Alphen, will you help me?
You don't even need to ask. Of course I will.
Thank you, my friend.
I still...
You're not the...
Really?
Did you forget?
It was...
Yeah? Law.
I was too... That was... But all this...
I know this...
Oh?
I used to... And when I... But that's when I...
In other words,
The thing that's all I...
not everyone is...
Huh?
It's... Law. Forget...
Yeah. I'll fight...
Well, it sounds like every...
What about...
To be honest, right now,
How do you mean?
because I thought I would have... It's been going... It wasn't how it felt.
I don't think... I don't think...
Huh?
When we were... She said, that mean...
Forgive...
Yeah. If we have...
You know?
It's not going... But if we can... I'm there. I think...
Yeah.
Well, there...
Yes,
Well, is everybody ready to do what needs to be done?
I am. There's a lot to think about, but at the end of the day, Dan is still in danger. I don't care who we're up against. We'll kick their ass.
What are your thoughts, Alphen? I want to know what's on your mind, too.
Like Law said, if we have to fight the Great Spirit on Rena, then so be it. It's trying to rob us of our entire world. And it's going to take not just our home, but all of existence along with it. That alone. But it's not only that.
You're saying there's a...
You're referring...
Yeah, and to hear Shion.
Indeed. And if Rena's...
Shion's...
We don't know anything.
While the main bot...
Shion.
if these thorns...
The question is, how do we suffice it to say... The way...
And we only know...
Hevric 30, it wouldn't ask. Our minds are made up. Let's go give Hevric 35 our answer.
Do you have your answer?
We want to ask. You're asking. You must have something.
The great ask rather, it therefore,
And how are we...
by using the you will also need the assistance of both the Sovereign and the Maiden. They are our best tools for suppressing and controlling astral energy. Using their powers, the Maiden shall seal the great astral spirit within her body, and the Sovereign shall wield the power of the Renis Alma to destroy it.
Hold on. That sounds a lot like what Shion described before.
Yeah, killing herself to take out the thorns with her.
She was actually right all along.
By my calculations, your powers combined should be sufficient to destroy the great astral spirit and disperse its energy widely enough to make it difficult to reform.
What will happen to the Maiden once we manage to beat the great astral spirit?
Any matter contained within the field of destruction shall be erased.
So it really will kill me.
This method is the most simple one available to destroy the Great Spirit, and is therefore our...
What are our...
There is little reason to consider all
You
clear.
don't get it. We didn't fight this whole time just to give up on her at the very...
This plan shall lead...
That's...
It is vital that you proceed with this plan. A part of Ren... 300 years ago, the Great Spirit descended upon Lenegis in an attempt to assume direct control of the spirit channeling ceremony. We have reason to believe the Great Spirit left part of itself behind, and that it now resides in the Maiden.
Which would make Alphen's earlier hypothesis correct.
That part inside the Maiden belongs to the core, and can be used by the great astral spirit to revive itself. So long as it remains, it will be all but impossible to That is why it is necessary. Without the Maiden's direct control over the Great Spirit, attacking it is futile, and will only serve to strengthen.
No.
Wait. Naori said that the Renis Alma can suppress the self-realization of astral energy, and that the thorns can be neutralized by placing them in it. If so, can't the same also be done to the Great Spirit, seeing as the thorns are simply part of it?
Well, can it?
It is true that the Renis Alma is capable of what you suggest, and could contain the great astral spirit.
Yes!
However, doing so requires fine control on the level of the spirit channeling ceremony. Considering that the Renis Alma was previously lost when that ceremony failed, I cannot allow it. Its uncertainty is simply too great.
What does that mean for us if you won't allow it?
Your starship will not be restored, and you will all be unable to leave here.
Why you?
Fine then. I'd rather stay here and rot than do it your way.
Alphen?
Whatever we do, if we mess up, Dana's screwed. The Great Spirit will destroy it. If you're fine letting that happen, and we have nothing to gain either way, then I'd rather do nothing. We want to stop Dana from getting destroyed. We want to save it. But not if it means having to sacrifice one of us in the process. If all you're gonna do is sit back and watch us where it's safe, then quit ordering us around and shut up!
Alphen.
What you say is irrational. Be that as it may, I shall accede to your demand.
You'll agree?
I am an observer. The Sovereign, Maiden, and Renis Alma are my species' greatest achievement. I wish to see how well they work against the Great Spirit in light of our demise by its hands.
But what are we supposed to do about the Renis Alma? One of your buddies ran off with it back on Lenegis.
It is likely that the Renis Alma is with the Great Spirit, functioning as a catalyst for it to receive Dana's astral energy.
So our only option to retrieve it is to head straight for the Great Spirit and take it back?
According to my observations, the astral energy is most densely concentrated in the center of Rena, where the Great Spirit's core is located.
So right in the middle of that giant flower, then.
I have one more question. You've said that Rena's great astral spirit is already integrated with the planet. What will happen to Rena once it vanishes?
Without the will of the Great Spirit, Rena is predicted to collapse. Even in such a scenario, the energy will disperse, and the Great Spirit will likely not reform.
So you're saying that even if we manage to beat the Great Spirit without destroying it, we'll still be in danger?
Likely, the collapse will occur in stages. It is recommended that you all escape before the final stage.
Man, I wish that thing would tell it to us straight for once.
Hevrek 35 and the others have gotten used to hypothesizing from afar, is all. Fix our starship. We're going to Rena.
Excellent.
But I want to make one thing clear. We're doing this for ourselves, to protect what matters to us. We're not doing it for your sake, or because you told us to. Remember that.
It matters little to me. The end result shall be the same. Repair work on your starship has commenced. You'll have to wait until it's finished.
Man, is it too much to ask for Hevrek 35 to talk like a normal person? I swear I can feel my brain starting to fry after listening to all that complicated stuff.
Don't worry. I think we're mostly done with him. Now all we have to do is rest up and wait. Once the Fall Knights is good to go again.
You still thinking about what the scientists told us? About where Renans really come from?
I am, but not for myself.
You're worried about the future of the Renan people.
The fact that our people have been the same this whole time will only give the Danans further reason to resent us.
But you still intend to confront this truth head-on, don't you?
Well, I did declare that I would live my life for the living, and not the dead. Even as I dream of retirement, I shall remain dedicated to the cause.
I'm sure you'll do great.
Now that I think about it, I don't believe I've ever heard you criticize or reproach us Renans even once.
I'm no saint. I have skeletons in my closet too. There was definitely a time when I hated Renans for who they were. I hated them just for being Renan. But you changed that, Dohalim. You gave me an opportunity to see them in a different light. Thanks to your reforms, we were able to stand next to Renans not as slaves, but as equals for the first time in our lives. Of course, I'm sure there were some Renans who still hated us on the inside. But we knew that not all of you were like that. There were those of you who were good, and that was a start. When it comes down to it, Renans are just people. They can be good or bad, just like Danans.
That is, in essence, the heart of your approach, isn't it? That we're all people.
Yeah, it is. When you can pull someone aside and talk to them one-on-one, then you have the chance to come to an understanding. But as soon as you stereotype, that chance goes away, and you stop thinking of what you can relate to.
I understand what you're saying. But we're talking about massive numbers of Renans and Danans alike. Realistically speaking, surely they won't all be able to get along.
Even if we end up butting heads with one person, maybe we'll find better luck among their friends. If we can build a society that works like that, that'll be something worth nurturing and protecting.
So you wish for people to form real bonds and do away with the hierarchy outright? To deal with one another as humans, and nothing more. That's the ideal future you hope to see when this is all over?
Yes, I do. I think it would make for a fine tribute. Do you still plan to return to Lenegis when this is over?
Indeed I do. I don't know whether I'll be able to reside in Lenegis proper, however. My first order of business may be to find somewhere to live.
Have a home in Menancia, you know.
As I shall ever keep in mind.
Well, if you ever need a helping hand, don't hesitate to come get me. I'll always be there for you, Doe.
Did you just... Never mind. Thank you, Kisara. I appreciate your patience as I work all this out.
Don't even mention it. And really, when you think about it, now that we know the two of us aren't so different after all, don't you think that brings down a barrier that used to be between us?
You know, I hadn't actually thought of it that way before. But I do like the sound of it.
Yeah, I think I do too.
Hey, why'd you call me here? Was there something you wanted to talk about?
Well, so I wanted to
Apologize?
I was being real stupid before. I get why you're angry now. Anybody would be if something they trusted was being questioned. So, I'm sorry, Rin.
No, Law. Honestly, I think you might have been onto something. Of course you were worried. Who wouldn't be if they found out there might be some invisible force pulling our strings this whole time?
In a way.
What?
Well, like you said, unless Dana's energy comes together, it has no will. So if we all have a little bit of Dana's astral energy inside us...
Yeah, maybe...
Everett 35 might know the answer. But, you know what? I don't need to ask it. So thanks, Rinwell, for To be honest, the only reason I was suspicious of Dana's will... Well, I mean, it mostly was... I feel like you and I had grown apart lately, and I was worried it was because...
Huh?
Never mind. Nothing. Just forget about it.
Huh? No, what were you saying?
Saying? I don't remember
Come
saying
on.
anything.
Now you won't tell me what you were thinking?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Then spit it out already.
You sure you don't want to get some rest? Same as you.
Remember when it was...
Ages and ages.
If I hadn't run, I wouldn't have...
Hey, Alphen?
Yeah?
If we can't like Hevrick, I need you to you'll use the blaze...
Huh?
It's true the blazing sword may... But it's taken up...
You can't be thinking
Listen,
that we...
the Great Spirit... We don't know what... I promise. But if it comes down...
Okay. But you should know that I hope you can forgive...
Alphen, okay. So it's a
Yeah.
I remember... But when you... I don't have...
That's because
Even once, but still...
You won't have to... worry about that. All right. Time to get back on the fall nights.
It would appear that our Helganquil host really has fulfilled its end of the bargain.
You know what that means. Time to go to Rena.
I guess this means we should give that warp drive a spin.
There's nothing here. This weird ocean we're surrounded by just stretches out everywhere. Is this really where the Helganquil come from?
I don't sense even a trace of astral energy. This world is... dead.
Then this must be the Hollowing.
You mean to tell me this whole world? The entire ocean is... that stuff?
And it's covering everything. The entire planet.
This is what the Great Spirit does. After it depleted this planet of every last speck of astral energy, it went after Dana.
So arresting. This world of doom.
Back in its day, Rena was probably just as vibrant as Dana is. But after being robbed of its astral energy for so long, those days are gone and past. This is all that will remain.
So the Great Spirit took everything. It stole energy not just from living beings, but the land.
And it bound the Helganquil in servitude. until their whole world was nothing but this. And by the looks of it, that's how it remains to this day. A world
With nothing.
You're saying if
We can be sure that even these few remaining remnants of Renan life will not be
If the oblivion and darkness both Shion and Naori saw comes to pass, it looks like we can climb down. Let's take a look.
So this is Rena. This is where everything began. Yet it's a dead world?
I won't let Dana suffer the same fate. Ever. Looks like we've warped into that pit of astral energy.
Helganquil!
Guess they don't need their Red Woman disguises anymore.
Wait, can you understand us?
It's no use. We're not going to get through to them.
So they really are being controlled.
I knew there was something off here!
They're not pulling punches. We have no choice but to beat them at their own game.
I'll face you!
That'll bring you down!
One more
time! Ready to go!
Begin! Dance on the wind! I'll burn it all! Flaming pillar! Fire!
Water, hear my call!
I'll face you! In a bind? Demon Prey! Demon Prey!
The enemy wields arms too.
You'll soon see about that!
Forgive me.
Stay away from... Begin!
Don't get carried away. Bestowed our mystic mercy.
It's over!
Very certain.
You must be tired of healing me.
I'm merely doing what I can to help.
Glad you're on our side.
Behold! The Earth pulse! Tectonic vision! Alpha!
In an instant!
Impact block!
We work well together.
Like a finely timed waltz.
Light Spear!
Water!
You're on!
Kisara! All yours, Kisara!
Back into the fray!
I'll grind you into dust! Shion!
This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes!
Alphen.
I can't, but
Perhaps.
Yeah,
I wonder if we're going to get attacked again.
If we lose heart now, this whole mission is over. We have to stay the course.
see what you've got.
Damn it! You're mine! Azure Storm! Double Demon Fang!
Hear my call! Spread!
Begin!
Rising Wyvern!
I'll grind you into dust! Leave the ensnaring to me.
Yeah! And the pummeling to me!
Rising Falcon!
A freezing storm!
Crescent Strike! No further!
Plasma Shock!
Rotating Pile Driver!
Finish it!
In an instant!
Impact Block!
We work well together.
Like a finely
Hold on to
timed
your
bow.
arms! Here I come! Lightning!
Seismic Rupture! I'll grind you into dust!
Take this!
Carve now through!
Show thy mystic mercy!
I ain't saving this one! Magic is there! Cyclone!
Can you take it? The Tempest engulfs you!
Demon Fang!
Breaking storm!
Tempest engulfs you!
This one's mine!
Astral energy!
You're mine!
Storm!
Sword Rain
Do it!
engulfs you!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Was that a new skill I saw back there?
Indeed. Well... Sort of. Actually, it's a family staple harkening back 8 generations.
Maybe you can just write all this down?
Is this a dead end?
It appears this whole room functions as an elevator. That apparatus there is likely what's used to control it.
What the? Where did they come from?
Less worry, more action. Concentrate. Where are you going?
You're mine!
That statue really art? Now I've seen everything.
Flying free! Why can't they just sit still?
Sion, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done.
Our arts are being interrupted. Be prepared to free from your breath.
Water, hear my call.
Dance on the wind!
Spread. Laser spear. Here's ready. Far enough. Freeze laser.
Armor won't save you!
Only that'll bring you down.
More Sukos?
Keep calm and take them down.
Lionheart!
Freeze lancer.
Rising Wyvern!
Holy
Begin!
Down now.
I'll take
Hear my
this!
call. Big
Flaming
strike.
Cloud!
Can't get out of this!
Rising Falcon!
Crescent Flash!
Burning strike.
Dance on the wind!
Reinforcements.
Tempest!
Be still! Rising Falcon!
Take
Take
this!
this!
Now.
Rising Falcon!
Take! Blow them away!
I'm all started up.
Begin!
Here I come!
Steering wheel. Illuminate the dark. Come forth.
Burning
Fire.
Fire!
Holy land.
Eagle Ray! Does it hurt?
You're mine! Devastation!
Showtime!
Rising Falcon! This one's mine!
Nothing gets
Do
by
it.
me.
Shield!
This one's got your name on it.
Ashes to ashes! A merry four of them?
Lightning condensed.
You're mine!
I can carve through armor!
Illuminate the dark.
Eagle Ray!
Holy land. Lunar corruption.
Crescent Flash!
Not on my watch.
The Tempest engulfs you!
Firmament render.
You're mine!
Arrow swirl.
No further! Your style is beautiful to observe.
You just watching or what?
No, I'm still in this.
You fight better at a distance. The further away, the better. You and I both. Go back, a freezing storm. Oh,
Does it hurt?
Eat dirt!
Dance on the wind!
A banana, let's go!
Take this!
Rising Wyvern! Here I come!
Dance on the wind!
Freeze laser! Holy land! One more time!
Hurricane Tempest!
Here I tail! And that's
Take
third
this.
will!
You
picked the wrong fight!
Flare tornado!
Crescent flash!
Who wants to die next?
More?
Dance on the wind! It's time!
Confiscated! Annihilation!
I can carve through
Demon
armor!
Fang! Jungle Demon Fang!
Can you take it? Dance on the wind!
Now!
Demon Fang! In an instant! Impact Claw! Wait, more?
Begin!
Freezing storm!
Rising Wyvern!
I never miss!
Lord,
you would do it!
Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Illuminate the dark!
Crescent
You're
flash!
mine! Lightning! Still
In a bind?
Eat dirt!
Seismic rupture! I'll grind you into dust!
Guarding wind! Come on,
You're mine!
In here!
Seismic rupture!
Spread!
The tempest engulfs you! I'll grind you into dust!
That'll bring you down!
Seismic rupture! I'll face you!
None shall escape
Eagle
my
ray!
judgment!
Begin shoot! Begin!
Burning strike!
Dance on the wind! More?
I can't imagine what we do without you, Renwell.
Who, me? That's a little much, don't you think?
I'm serious. You're a lifesaver.
Rising Wyvern! Soaring Lightning! Mirage!
You'll find no mercy!
Dragon
Into the
Form!
shadows!
You're mine! Dance on the wind!
This'll come in handy. Annihilation!
I'll face you.
Mega ray!
Behold! The Earth's pulse! Tectonic vision!
Take this!
Here I go!
Sword Lane Alpha!
Can you take it? The tempest engulfs you!
Now! If it's in the
More.
skies,
Blow them away!
More?
Seismic rupture! The tempest engulfs you! Can't get out of this!
Eat dirt!
lightning condemned!
Crescent flash!
Thunder blade! Illuminate the blah blah blah!
More?
This one's mine!
Soaring blast! Can you take it?
Mega ray!
Eagle ray!
Gemini Aqua!
Seismic rupture!
Take this!
Glacial spear!
I'll
Here's
face
evil!
you.
Not on my watch!
The tempest engulfs you!
Dangerous darkness!
Dragon Swarm!
The tempest engulfs you!
Sonic
Your
Thrust!
blade moves like silk. I just let my instincts take over.
How fascinating!
As impressive as always.
Here I hope that wasn't proving.
No, I mean, you're even better than ever.
I've never seen Leon actually look flustered.
Engulfs you!
Sonic Thrust!
Now!
Kisara! All yours, Kisara! Dance!
Crazy lunar eruption!
I'll face you!
Vanquish darkness!
Seismic rupture!
Radiant
I'll
spear!
grind you into dust! The tempest engulfs you!
I'm only getting started!
Be still! Rising
I'll grind
Trinity!
you into Shion!
This one's got your name on it!
Ash to ash! Crescent flash!
You're mine!
Lightning Thrust! Rising
Epic
Rocket!
swirl!
Seismic rupture!
Flawless flight!
Dance in the
Do
wind!
it!
In an instant! Impact Claw!
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
Even in such a harsh environment as this, there are still creatures here?
You think they're native? To Rena? Or could they be Zoogle somehow?
Whatever they are, they're dangerous. Watch yourselves around them. You think that pit stretches all the way to Rena's core?
If that's true, and if we go down, we should...
This will be a delicious piece of cake! Hear my call!
Rising Viper!
Here's the
Can't get out
These
of
things
this!
really get on my
Damn it!
nerves!
Mission go to you!
Here's the
Flying freak! Why can't they just sit still?
Shia, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done! May 1,000 gales carry you to trial!
Crescent fly!
Dusty nail! None can escape my judgment! Illuminate
Nothing will hold me back!
Radiant Pierce!
You're mine! Blind you to dust! The tempest engulfs you! You picked the wrong fight! Begin!
May 1,000 gales carry you to tread!
Listen!
Dusty nail!
Seismic rupture!
This one's mine!
The tempest engulfs you! Shield!
This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes! A merry distraction!
There's still more to go!
Dance on the wind!
Come forth, holy glimmer!
Rising Viper! Can't get out of this! Here I come! The crescent flash!
May 1,000 gales
what I can
now!
do! Kisara! All yours, Kisara!
Water, hear my call! Sleep now!
Blind you into dust! Rising Viper! Eagle Ray!
I can do it all day!
Dance on the wind!
Hear my call!
I'll face you! The tempest
Now!
engulfs you! Tempest!
Lightning condense! Thunder blade! Illuminate the dark! Magic command! Holy
I'll
wind!
face you! Eagle Ray! I'm not done! Ignite! I'll face you!
Here goes!
Dance on the wind!
Lightning condense! Let the thunder blade!
Eagle Ray! Double demon fang!
Ice tornado! I never miss!
Does it hurt?
Now!
Outfit! In an instant! Impact Claw! We work well together.
Like a
finely timed waltz.
Sleep now! Ready to
Hurricane Thrust! Take
Do it!
this! Shield!
This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes!
I've been doing really great lately.
I'll take you all on!
Fires of passion!
Begin!
Jealous flame!
Twist! Dance on the wind! Double demon fang!
I can handle it!
Sword Rain Alpha! No further!
Lunar
Rain
Crimson!
Visage! Crush! Not today!
By the power of
Dance on the wind! What?
I'm ready!
Can you take it?
Radiant
You're
Fury
marked!
Land!
Prepare to be sealed, O fleet of foot!
Actually,
sounding more appropriate.
Less talking, more doing!
Raining Slash!
Raging Fury! Here!
Crescent Slash! Hurricane Thrust!
Light Astral Searing Flame! Reload! I'm out
I'll
of
face
ammo!
you!
Back into the dark!
Tempest engulfs you!
Shield Force!
Seismic Rupture!
Burn it to run!
Demon Fang! Does it hurt?
Red!
Demon Fang!
Shield Force!
I did it! Can you take it?
Corruption!
Dance on the wind! Piston!
Raging Storm!
Can you take it?
Sonic Thrust!
Swallow Blade! The Tempest engulfs you!
Radiant Light!
Double
Here!
Demon Fang!
Holy
Begin!
Glimmer! Holy Land!
Dance on the wind!
Lunar
Burn in
Corruption!
hell!
You're really strong, Alvin!
I'm just trying to do the best I can.
Do it! This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes! A merry distraction!
There's still more to go!
The Tempest engulfs you! Hurricane Thrust! In a bind? Tear! The Hurricane engulfs you!
Tempest Burn! Astral Energy!
Say no more!
The heavens must be smiling. discourteous, aren't you?
One more!
The tempest engulfs you! Seismic rupture!
Annihilation!
Hurting anyone? Stay calm. I shall provide assistance. Now it's my turn. Can you take it? Dance on the wind!
Lunar corruption! Dragon form!
Now we're not... Too fast! Stand back. I'll trip it up. Seismic rupture! Can you take it? Take it!
Outstanding form!
Engulfs you!
Element
I'll
Render!
blind you with a dart!
Denied! It's over! Tear!
Now you see what I can do!
Rising Phoenix!
Prepare to be seized!
Mega Ray!
No further!
Rising Viper! Lunar Rondo!
Mega Ray!
Eagle Rage!
Here, let me help.
Begin!
Roach's Fury!
Dance on the wind!
Pierce through! Demon Head!
Magic Mega Ray!
Eternal Devastation! Rising
Grant me
Viper!
the strength to march on!
This should do it!
Lionheart!
Coming through! Ha! Melt! Scarlet Inferno!
Bestow thy mystic
Roach's
mercy!
Fury!
Rise and render!
Sorry circle!
Try this! Sword Rain Alpha!
Burning!
Dance on the wind!
Ignite!
Here, let me help.
Blind you into death! Take this!
Demon Fang!
Engulfs you!
Double Demon Fang!
Ready to go! Reload! Freeze Lancer!
Crescent flash!
I'll fix you up!
Now I can let you acquire a head!
May 1,000
Can't
gales
get out
carry
of
the
this!
spread!
Seismic rupture!
Flame inside me! Yours to be victory!
Flash!
Damn it! Out of ammo! May 1,000 gales
Can you
carry the
bestow
spread!
thy mystic mercy?
Rising Water!
Fairy circle!
Maybe she'll Kisara a little kindness, huh?
She is strong. She can handle herself.
You can be really dense, though, Halim. Your natural defenses are fading. I'm a sitting duck!
Retreat from this battle.
Retreat? I would never.
Burn in hell!
I'll grind you into dust! Tempest!
Makobo!
Dance on the...
Coming through! Ha! Melt! Scarlet Inferno! Orochi's Fury!
Crescent flash!
Cyan Radiant!
Double Demon Fang!
Mega Ray! Dance in the annihilation! Air
Tempest engulfs you!
Rising Viper!
I'll grind you into dust! Now I can let loose!
Where are you going?
Orochi's
Eagle
Fury!
Rage!
None Dominate Render!
Demon Fang!
We've turned the tables on him.
There are still more left.
Right, no time to hold back.
Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis! You don't mess around.
Certainly not.
Double Demon Fang!
Photon Blast!
Double Demon
Let's
Fang!
do it!
Chargers to me!
Go for it!
Prepare to crumble!
I've been doing really great lately.
I found some equipment.
Let me take a look at it.
Discourteous, aren't you? Can't get out of this!
I think I'll pass on the handshake.
Grant me the strength to march on!
Leg free!
Lionheart! Can you take it? Does it hurt? Crescent Flash! Rage! Seismic Rupture!
Get on in there with the others!
Crescent Flash!
The waters have creeped out loud
Seismic Rupture! Tempest!
We have to run up and at him! Let's go!
Behold! The Earth pulse! Tectonic Fission! The Tempest engulfs you! Dance on the wind!
You picked the wrong fight!
Crescent Flash!
Annihilation!
Can you take it? March!
It looks like you got this one covered.
You! Instinct Shocker! In your face! I'll face you! Charge like that
I have
can
no
easily be
limits.
fatal.
Just as well, I'm here to stop.
Where are you going?
Demon Fang!
Eagle Rage!
The flaming fight!
Radiant, look here!
Listen break in a bind?
Demon Fang! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Can you take
Dragon
it?
Swarm!
Water! Take it!
Astral energy!
Not today!
Eagle Rage!
Vanquish
The
darkness!
Tempest engulfs you!
Here!
Crescent Flash!
Amazing.
Armor won't save you!
Hurricane Thrust!
Denied!
Hurricane Thrust!
Bestow thy mystic mercy!
Very
You must be tired of healing me.
I'm merely doing what I can to help.
Rise on up, Still Queen.
Do it! Tempest engulfs you!
This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes!
Well, let's... Ye here.
These structures don't look like anything built by the Renans, or even what we saw in the Forbidden Zone.
Perhaps this is the true architectural style of the Helganquil. Or perhaps the opposite, given their situation.
You mean like how some places favor building stuff with stone, while others rely on wood?
Retreat if you know what's good for you!
No
further.
Evil!
Demon Fang!
Darkness!
Double Demon Fang!
Freeze Lancer!
Eagle Rage!
This clunking is driving me mad!
Primed and ready! Illuminate
Not
the
today!
Pesky airborne scoundrels!
Sounds like a job for yours truly! Hold on to your heart! Here I come!
Too fast!
Stand back! I'll trip it up! Dance on the wind!
Let's get you all confiscated! Mega Ray!
Tempest engulfs you!
Thunderblade! This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes! A million distractions!
There's still more to go!
Severing Wind!
Holy Land!
Can't get out of this!
Mirage!
Tempest! Seismic Rupture!
Bird!
Illuminate Render!
The Tempest engulfs you!
Gemini Aqua!
Far enough! I'll grind you into pieces! Meanwhile, Light Burst Force!
Radiant Genesis!
Slash! The Tempest engulfs you!
Illuminate
Never see what I can do!
Demon Double Demon Fang!
The Tempest engulfs you!
I'm on the road! Pierce Evil! You fight better at a distance. The further away, the better. You and I both. Do it!
Take it!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
There you go, Alphen!
It's
time to end this battle!
I'm right beside you! Do it!
Explosive ring!
Take! Blow them away!
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
be a delicious piece of cake.
Begin!
No one can escape my judgment. I require complete focus. Fall into thine own way.
Flaming thrust! Rising falcon!
Steel force!
Dance on the wind!
Lightning blast!
Anything in order!
I'll burn it all! Flaming pillar! Fire! You're mine!
I can handle it.
Amazing.
Steel force! Where are you going? Illuminate the hot
This one keeps charging us!
That's what my shield's for. Get behind me.
Got it! I'll leave it to you!
Grind you into dust!
Mirage!
Dance on the wind!
Eat dirt!
There you go. Don't let up.
I'll grind you into dust! The tempest engulfs! You can't get out of this!
Razor cyclone.
I'll grind you into dust!
Raining
Let
thrust!
us
tempest
in your
engulfs you!
dreams.
Crush!
Magic is in.
Double demon fang!
Demon flame.
I can carve through armor!
There!
Radiant flame.
Lightning shot!
Burning flame. Water.
Evil ray!
Steel.
Does it hurt?
Get on in there with the others.
Swallow blade! Double
Grant me
demon
the
fang!
strength to march on! Another incantation ruined!
Here's evil.
You're mine!
I'll grind you into dust!
The flame inside me!
Adversity is said to be the best motivation.
Reality, let loose!
Firmament rend mega ray.
Dragon swarm!
The marksman arrow fall.
No further.
Hey, for that!
Everyone, get back. It's too dangerous.
Bestow thy mystic mercy!
In here. Reload.
Ah!
Sorry,
Don't suffer
I didn't want to put you out.
What are friends for? They can't depend on one another.
You're right. I'll bear that in mind.
Hurricane fire!
Hear my bones in a smart.
Snake of the abyssal deep! Clear for us a path! Aqua serpent! Bestow thy mystic mercy! Holy circle! Is that a healing one? It is. Can't ignore your pain. No.
This one's got your name on it.
Ashes to ashes!
That'll teach us for getting cocky. So the idea is to seal the Great Spirit.
I'm guessing
I already... The prop...
In other words,
Back when she...
If that's the...
We might... It won't be...